My name is Anya and I'm a front-end developer from SNOW.DOG, and today I would like to pay your attention on web accessibility topic and show you why should we care about this aspect developing our Magento stores or any other e-commerce solution. So let's go. So does it mean that the website is accessible? So it means it's content, it's available for everyone, especially for people with disabilities. So it has full keyboard support and provide full support for assistive technology used for web. So for example, screen readers. It's also well structured, understandable, easy to navigate, easy to use, and indeed fun to use, because it's our website. What about accessible Magento store? It's a little bit more complex. It's a little bit more difficult to make, but it's possible. It has the same feature: available, accessible, easy to navigate, easy to use, and fun to use. We have different type of disabilities, and depending on what limitation people have, they try different ways to reach the web content. So we have, for example, auditory disabilities, so hearing impairments and deafness, and those people need the transcription on every audio and video elements we present on our website. And also they sometimes use magnifier to better see what's going on the screen. We have also the group of visual disabilities, so people with low vision, blind people, and they also use magnifiers to see the screen. They use screen readers and braille keyboards. We have also the group of motor and physical disabilities, and people from this group use the most of devices, and there's different input devices like joysticks, switches, head mouse stick, etc. Eye tracking on screen keyboards and voice recognition. We have also the group with cognitive, emotional, and mental disabilities. And people from this group have some trouble to understand more difficult content. So for them, we should keep our site, our website, as simple as possible. And there's also a group with speaking impairments, and for them we should provide some other form of contact than, for example, only phone contact. So any contact form on our page or chat or something like that. And we have a group also with of partial disabled, so older people and people who are temporarily disabled. So for example, due to some accident, they have broken arms or finger, they can use mouse or something like that. And for them, we should prepare our website to let them get our content. So I would like to show you how the screen reader works with Magento 1 and Magento 2. So I will prepare some tests. And as a screen reader, I will use a Chromebox as a plugin for Chrome. And because we haven't got much of time, I will focus on product page and on header to see how it works in Magento Store. I hope that everybody will hear what's going on. If not, please tell us, try something, do it.
Window Elizabeth Mid-Top tab. Back to bottom.
Okay, so we have screen reader here. And now I let screen reader speaking, because if we will speaking to us, it's not the case.
Back to top. Your language, English. Combo box 1 of 3.
So we have combo box here, and we heard that we have 3 options. Let's check it. Sorry. We can't hear the option. So for people who doesn't see the screen, it's not an option to choose some. Okay, so let's take it with English, and let's go.
Welcome. Madison Island. Bit account. Link. Cart. Link. Navigation order list.
who knows this main theme, Medicine Island, you know that this menu is very expandable. I use mouse, it's working. But when I use screen reader,
List item, list item, list item, list item. Home and decor. Click.
it doesn't work. We had no access to this expandable and this submenus. But okay, let's go.
List item. Set VIP. Search entire store here ellipsis. Edit search. Button. List with 2 items. List item. Home. Visited link. Slash.
Do you hear the screen reader? What's going on there? Yeah, it's okay.
Elizabeth mid top. List item. Elizabeth mid top. More views. Heading 2.
It's also very important to let the focus on the element. So now, if we go down, the focus not moving with us. All okay? Let's listen.
List with 3 items.
There's the focus.
Internal link list item. Internal link list item. Internal link list item. Clicked. Internal link list item. Elizabeth mid top. $210.00. In stock.
We have product in stock.
The demure Elizabeth mid features a stylish sheer open, even the forgiving silver. The new camisole underneath keeps a stylish but conservative look.
Yeah, this was the description of the product and it was really interesting. I think I would like to buy it.
Color. This is a required field. List with 4 items. Pink. List item. Red. List item. Royal blue. List item.
Okay.
Click.
So we
Royal
click.
blue. List item. White. List item. Size. This is a required field. List with 5 items. XSX. List item. S. List item. M. List item. L. List item. XLX. List item.
I'm not sure if you hear the difference between, for example, this
L.
item
List item. XLX. List item.
and this item. On the end of the word, he speaks X. It is crossed with X. So it's I can think that's okay. Maybe it's not accessible for us. So it's not the option. Let's try to. We see what's going on. So we have it's a bit easier. So try to choose it.
Click. XLX. List item.
Okay, something goes wrong. If I can see the screen,
Asterisk required fields. QTY. 1. Edit text.
okay, it's edit text. I will take 2 pieces.
2. Out of stock, but disabled.
Why? Okay, so maybe it was required first, maybe it's something wrong. Okay,
QTY. 2. Edit asterisk required fields. List with 5 items. XLX. List item. L. List item.
okay, there's no X on the end. Let's try this one.
L. List item. XLX. List item. Asterisk required fields. QTY. To add to cart. Button.
Let's try on a minute.
Enable cookies. This is a demo store. Any orders placed through this store will not be honored or fulfilled.
Something goes wrong, but button will click, and I think we managed to try it once again. Sorry. Something.
Elizabeth McTop. QTY. Add list with add Q. No. M. List item. Clicked.
I clicked some.
Some list.
Once more
4 item
time.
clicked. Next. Ask Q. Add to cart. Clicked. Add. Shopping cart. This is
Okay.
a demo store.
We
Any
managed it.
orders placed through this store will not be honored or fulfilled.
So let's check Magento 2 now.
Josie Yoga jacket. Jackets. Tops. Women. Tab. Search with hidden search. Icon.
We go to the beginning.
Select default. Skip to content. Internal link.
And we have some interesting links, skip to content. With this,
Click. Link. Link.
we skip the header and all the navigation. For example, we have on this page and the second time, it's not the home page, we don't navigate through it for the first time, so it's very useful.
List with jackets.
Okay, I go back to the menu to show you the difference
Search. But disabled.
between Magento 1 and Magento 2.
Search with hidden search. Search. Tab list. Tab panel navigation menu 1 of 26. What's new? Menu item 1 of 26. List item. List with 5 items.
Sorry,
Tab
something
list.
before? Okay.
What's new? Menu 1 of 26. Navigation tab panel.
1 of 26 navigation panel. Okay.
Women with sub-menu 2
Sorry.
of 26. Tops with sub-menu 1 of 8.
We have expanded
Bottoms with
menu,
sub-menu 6 of 8.
accessible from the screen reader,
Top jackets 1 of 4.
so we
Hoodies
can
and
navigate.
sweatshirts 2 of 4. Jackets 1 of 4.
And we hear how many elements, how much elements in each group. So let's go. We stay on the side, so you don't use the navigation. Let's go.
List with 5 items. Home. Link list item. Women. Link list item. Tops. Link list item. Jackets. Visited link list item. Josie Yogan jacket. List item. Link. Josie Yogan jacket. Heading 1. Rating. 70% of 100.
Great, 70% of ranking. Great.
4 reviews. Link. Add your review. Link. $56.25. In stock. SKU. WJO2. Size. XS. S. M. L. XL.
Okay. We have to choose size.
Color. QTY. 1.
And
Edit
we,
text numeric only.
and we have color, but I haven't here the option for the color. Okay, let's take a size and
Selected.
try it.
Color. XL. L. M.
Okay, I take the M1.
Clicked. M. L. XL. Color.
Color, okay.
QTY. 1. Edit text.
Okay, the text I will take 2 pieces.
2.
And then
Add to
try
cart.
adding to the cart.
Clicked. Add to cart. Button.
Okay, I think nothing happened. Let's try.
This is color. This is a required field. Color.
Okay, so how can we add this product to the cart and choose the color? So it's the version 2.1.8 of Magento 2, and 2.2 is already fixed and it's working well, better with the required field and all of this. But I show that with one small changes we can add this to the cart. So now I add some attribute
Elements.
to this field. We take the, it's a gray one, yeah? I add the attribute tab index equal to 0 to have a focus on this element. And for example, I add some label. Okay, we don't reload the page.
Size of XSSMLXL color gray. This is a required field.
Okay, thank you very
M.
much.
X.
Okay.
M. M. L. X of color gray. Clicked. Gray. This is a required field. QTY. 2. Add to cart. Clicked. Shopping cart. Skip to content.
So we
Enter a
unlock
link.
this.
List with 3 items. Sign in.
Yeah, because
Link
it's
list item. Create an account. Link list item.
thank you very much. So okay, it's it was the demo store, so we had an option to through the checkout, but we managed to add the cart this product with all the options with one little changes. And as I said, in default theme Luma theme Magento 2.2, it's already fixed and it's working well. And the validation with required fields, etc., not working very well, but I think it's time to improve it and go on with this. So why should we care? Because our Magento 1 and Magento 2, it's not really accessible. So I think we should care. And let's get some numbers and some data. The data after World Health Organization from 2014, there were 285 million people estimated to be visually impaired. So it's, I think it's a lot. 39 million were blind. And according to the stat from the same year, after Internet World Stat, we have 32.3% of population who use the internet. So do a quick math. 32.3% of 285 people, it's over 120 million people with visual disabilities who use internet. So, and it was in 2014. So I think it's a lot. It's a huge number. Okay, it's just my quick math. But if you do some research, I think you can attend to some data from your market. I have some data from USA from 2012. There were almost 57 million people with some type of disability, and 38.3 million with severe disability. And we have some time with almost 20 million with motor disabilities, over 15 million with cognitive, mental, emotional, 8 million with visual impairments, and 7.5 with hearing. So I think the numbers show us that we should care about accessibility in the websites. So first of all, think about it like, let's be human. We know that disabled people have some problems with daily activities. So if we have possibilities to do something little with our little effort to make their life easier, why should we do it? And let's think about web accessibility like a curb cut. It's an easy solution with connect the sidewalk area with the street area. And okay, it was for people who have trouble, for disabled people who have trouble with walking on the wheelchair, for example. But from curb cut benefit not only people with disabilities, but also people limited by some situation. For example, on the bike, on skateboard, or with baby carriage. And it helps them too with the daily activities and with life. And it's the same with our website. If our website will be accessible for disabilities, there are groups of the other who can use it. For example, new users who don't know our website, people who don't know our language very well. It will help them too. So we should care about this aspect. Okay, so let's like from the business side on this topic. These are your potential clients. And we can divide this for the two groups, people with disabilities and without disabilities. In the middle, we have those with partial disabilities or temporary disabilities, or those who want to use accessible feature on our site. For example, they lose their mouse and they want to make order on your website using keyboard. If your page, your website, your store isn't accessible, you exclude the group of potential clients. Why should you do it? Lose your customers, lose your money. And I have some data to show you. In 2016, in the United Kingdom, they were made a click-away pan survey, which studied online shopping by customers with disabilities. You can check it on this website. There are all the results. I choose some of those. 71% of disabled shoppers will click away from your website if it's too difficult to use. And majority of the disabled users, 81%, will pay more money for the same item on competitor's website if that site is more accessible. Okay, and last but not least, these click-away customers accounted for around 10% of United Kingdom online shopping revenue in 2016. It's roughly £75 billion in the United Kingdom alone. So I think we should care about accessibility from the business aspect. Okay, and how can we deal with it? We have one main accessibility standard, international standard. It's Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, WCAG 2.0. It's the website of WCAG. You can check it, and there's a lot of stuff really, because it's introduced a lot of features, conditions to make some success criteria to achieve the website accessibility on our store. And it provides 3 levels. Level A, it's the basic level which we can use for the most of people, for the most group that website is accessible for the most people, for the most disabled groups. We have level AA. It's a little bit more. There are some more advanced features to implement, and it's a standard for international, like some countries like Ontario, Canada, European Union pointing to this level, the level AA of WCAG 2.0. And we have the third level, AAA, which is more advanced, and sometimes it's even impossible to introduce. But it's something like about transcription of live streaming, etc. So it's more difficult, it requires a lot of work from us, but it's not really required as a web accessibility standard level. So we should point to this WCAG 2.0 on the level AA to make our store accessible. And how can we do it with Magento? And how can we implement this feature in Magento store? So first of all, if you are starting developing a new project on Magento store, you should think about it firstly, because the feature of accessibility, it's also used for SEO, for user experience, because it's also about heading, about the code structure, logical structure of our page, etc. So we can think, and it's the most how can I say? It's you know, if you think about it on the beginning, it will be cheaper after all to make it accessible. Okay, if you have Magento store already and it's not accessible, make an audit. Test your site and check if your site is accessible. There are some points of audit some type of audit to make. We can audit all buying process, from, for example, category page through the product page, through the cart, checkout, etc., and trying using keyboard if you can make an order on our store. Or we can audit different types of pages, of subpages. So we should test home page, product page, category page, some CMS page we have, etc., etc. Of course, checkout and cart page. And okay. It's some work to do. It's some hours of developer to make, but it's worth it. Moreover, it's also some social feature. You can be proud of it and make the information that, hello, our page, our store is accessible for you, so you can use it. It's really great feature, and something which can make your group of your customers bigger. So I think we should care about accessibility on Magento store, and I hope you will test, audit, and repair your website from this aspect. Yeah, and I wish you luck in this job. So thank you very much. If you have some question, and I don't know if you have time or not. I'm afraid not. But if you have some question, please, or touch me in after a presentation, no problem. So thank you very much.